So we get a text message on Friday from Joe Koski from this podcast. And he says, my cousin Ed, who you know from my wedding, lovely guy, Ed.
Very nice guy.
He was there. He was at Ground Zero the day that Richmond beat Carlton at Joe's Bucks.
Yeah, that's right.
And he says, you can have my members' tickets. I've got 3 tickets. I can't go.
Yep.
Tom, Broden, Joe, let's go to Geelong.
Yeah.
So we drive down. It's a lovely drive by.
I really enjoyed it, especially from Broden picked me up from our work in Brunswick. Beautiful, or freeway all the way.
I've never gone to a game in Geelong at Kardinia Park. You've never been to a game. So we were popping our Geelong cherry, and I wanted to hear what all the fuss was about. I wanted to see the stadium that has been being built for 400 years.
Yeah.
And I wanted to see what all the fuss was about.
And you could tell too.
Can you just flatly give me your star rating out of 5 of Kardinia Park before we get into the details?
I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5.
Okay.
And there's very specific things that lost that star, which we'll talk about. But otherwise, should I talk about the positives really quickly? Or you want to get into specifics?
It would be good for some balance.
All right, let me give the positives. 1, absolutely love the suburban vibe of it. We parked in the suburban street and walked over. It felt like Windy Hill. It felt like
that is a good point.
Icon Park. I love that.
We just drove up to a vicinity if you were at the MCG, you would never get a car park.
Never.
And we just got a car park, a 10-minute walk from the stadium. Incredible.
Yeah.
And Tom does this thing whenever we go anywhere in the world, this cunt will be like, I could live here. And then he starts getting on realestate.com.au and looking at prices.
We passed a house and I was like, we literally passed a house that had a for sale sign that was like 200 meters from Kardinia Park. And I was like, surely that's like 600 grand.
Yeah, it was one of those ones where like an old house had been knocked down and they'd put 2 on it. You know what I mean? And they share a wall, but they're really nice and flash.
Yeah.
And it was 1.1.
1.1, which I thought was crazy. I thought it would be like 600. I was like shocked.
How many bedrooms?
3 bedrooms, but they're all upstairs.
And no backyard?
No backyard, but a deck on the side.
Yeah, okay.
But then when you got 3 bedrooms upstairs, so there's a lot of living room downstairs. There's dining room, kitchen, and living room.
Yeah.
But still, I was thinking Geelong, it's going to be cheap as. Wrong. No, very expensive.
Geelong is very overpriced for what it is.
Yeah.
I think there's supply and demand. Like people want to live there, so it's expensive.
Yeah. So that's one positive. The other positive I would say is because of the money, the place was gorgeous, clean, fresh paint. The toilets were immaculate. Like it was really nice, and it was like gorgeous, scenic sort of vibes in the stands. I felt like
Great.
Those are the positives.
Thanks, Tom. Now, I gave it maybe half a star. Kardinia Park, and I'll say the positives were the people there were incredibly nice.
Really nice people.
So many nice people there saying hello and being lovely. Like the community,
yes,
lovely.
I agree with that immensely.
4.5 stars lost from the staff of Kardinia Park. Yes. I can't believe that it was real.
Crazy,
so
buddy.
we walk up to the ground. We're at gate 1. I look up and I see gate 85. There's genuinely a billion gates. So I'm exaggerating. I saw gate 13.
Yeah.
MCG is one of the biggest stadiums in the world.
Yeah.
100,000 people. There are 7 gates.
Yeah.
How does it need at least 6 more gates than the MCG? So you walk up to the first attendant, you go, which way should we go for gate 1? And they go, she just looks back and goes, no worries, go that way. We were 100 meters from gate 1 the other direction.
Yes. She made us do an entire lap of Kardinia. 450 meters. There was a sign that said 450 meters to gate 1.
So half a kilometer.
And she was so nice and confident. She wasn't like,
I'm not sure. She's like, I'll tell you what, you want to get to gate 1? Walk that way. But it was good though, because we got to go past all the other 29 gates.
Legit.
And we saw have you seen War of the Worlds when they're trying to get on the boat to get out of the city because the aliens are coming? Just like mass hordes of people trying to scan their tickets in to just get to this, and it's raining.
Yeah.
And it's just hordes and
thousands and
one
thousands
guy with
of
a metal
people.
detector just going, welcome.
To every gate, probably 1,000 people outside every gate waiting to get in.
So we finally get around to gate 1 after a good 58-minute trek.
Yeah.
Our car was closer to gate 1 than we were by
So much closer.
Anyway, so we get to our gate and there is a massive line.
Massive line.
And there is a guy, as you have at other grounds, they have a guy they call the MC at the MCG, which is someone on mic just going, entry to gate 1, if you want to go fast, go to the left, no bags, check, make sure you get things out of your pocket. Now, this guy, I reckon, is 55 doing the mic in this run. And he is trying to crack laughs. He's like, oh, a Suns fan over here. And it's your birthday.
Many jokes.
And he was like, but nothing was working. No one was laughing. And then someone told him, now, he started to go, someone kept making up fake names for birthdays, and then someone clearly told him to say Mike, Hunt, right? And then a few people laughed at that. And then he went, oh, holy shit, I'm Jerry Seinfeld. Yeah. I'm the fun. And so he just repeatedly, like around children, just started to say my C-bomb like over and over again on a microphone to like genuinely like 3,000 people.
While we're standing in the freezing rain.
My C-bomb. Jesus Christ.
And he's having a laugh while it's like 2 degrees and we're all just sitting there in the freezing cold
And
rain.
here's the best bit, right? So we're going in and an attendant walks up and then Tom says, possibly the funniest thing Tom will ever say. And I have to fucking lock in for this because the speed at which Tom said this and the veracity and the eloquence and he just did it like a professional funny man who's been funny for 100 years. You have to say it, or do you want me to say it?
No, you say it.
All right, so we're just walking. Tom's got his hand in his pocket. It's freezing cold. It's raining. An attendant walks up to us and says, are you trying to get in with bags today? Tom looks back at him without a beat and says, nah, Bailey Smith has done his hammy. No bags today. And I went at full volume, oh my God, Tom!
I thought it was so funny.
Like with no, like the immediate speed. It was incredible, Tom.
I was on it.
Anyway, we finally get into the stadium. We're in, and it's lovely, and they're beautifully dressed, wonderful.
We were stressed that we wouldn't get in.
So we may have had 2 junior tickets.
Yeah.
So we had 2 junior tickets, and we're like, fuck, if this is the MCG, we're not getting in. Why have we got these junior tickets?
We're stressed out.
We walk in, there's no one.
There's literally no one. No attendance.
No attendance at all.
So we just walked in.
Anyway, so then we're on level C, which appears to be level 3.
Yes.
So we take the stairs up to the second level.
Yeah.
We're hungry.
We're starving. We've been driving for an hour.
So I walk up to attendant and I say, we're going up to level 3. Up there, is there any food? She looks back at me and goes, no, there is not. I go, great, we'll get some food here. We go up to level 3, food fucking everywhere.
There's a massive cafe there. Like, why would you lie like that?
No, there isn't. No,
again, really
but not
nice.
I'm not sure.
No, he's like confident, and I was like, oh no, there's no food up.
No, I think she said you've got to go back down for food.
Yes, that's right, she did.
Who are these people?
Like, why are you lying?
And then we go up to the level 3. I walk up to her and say, where at these seats? C29. And she looks back at me and says, what?
Yeah, she's confused.
I was like, what's going on?
She goes, no, C40. And you go, no, C28. She goes, you're on C40. And he goes, yeah, I'm going to C28. She's like, you're on C40.
Yeah, I was like, all right. And then we got our seats, lovely people around us. People who've had these seats for life. It was very nice.
Yeah, really nice.
At Geelong, they don't show replays on the screen.
Yeah, that was a big thing. They were, like, the people around us were upset about it. They were like, don't look for replays here. They never get the replays on the screen.
Which is bizarre.
Which is weird, yeah.
We're in line at half time to get food, and there's pies. We talk about the Routley's pie. So they have Routley's pie, and I rated it. I
liked it as well. It was piping hot, which I love. Very nice pastry, very crispy.
I don't like when a pie it doesn't hold. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. I feel like that's a common thing. Yeah, sure, yeah.
But I don't like that. Well, say what you will about a 4 and 20, but I don't think holds. There's a good chance it's going to hold.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So let's talk about your pastry, all right? But Routley's, I thought they did a good job. And their hot dog, not bad.
But can I tell them about the Marathon Dim Sims?
Yeah, please.
So this place is sponsored by Marathon Dim Sims.
Right.
And so I had to get some dim sims. They come in a packet of 4. I thought,
they're probably playing a few salary caps down there.
Absolutely. So what I think with the Marathon is, I think they're the crispiest and best textured of all the dim sims. When I bit into the fried dim sim, it was like it's had a crunch to it. Incredible. But what I'll say about Marathon Dim Sims is, I don't really like a cabbage aftertaste, even though I understand cabbage is a big part of dim sims. And Marathon have the most long-lasting aftertaste of cabbage out of all the dim sims, I think. And that really ruins it to me, because first bite, you're like, ooh, crispy, ooh, delicious, and then cabbage.
Yeah. So I'll tell another thing. Well, here was my problem with there's 2 stories from the food bit.
Yeah.
First one is, I got a pie and a hot dog.
Yeah.
I want to try both. And she goes, that'll be $12 or whatever it was. It was reasonably priced.
Yeah.
And so I pay passed, and she took my food and held it to her body until it cleared.
That's the other thing.
And then gave me the food.
And they don't have, MCG, you walk in and you can just grab your food. They don't have that. You got to go up and order. So it's like the lines were fucking literally 40 minutes long. And I was thinking, this was not a busy game. This is like 20,000 people. Imagine 45 at this fucking ground. It would have been fucking insane. But I got a pie, a bottle of water, I got a hot dog, and 4 dimmies for $19.20. So
just read that list of what Tom fucking ate again.
Yeah. So I had 4 dim sims, a hot dog, a pie, and a bottle of water for $19.20.
Enough to feed a small Geelong family.
Yeah.
It was good, but.
And then on the way home, Broden was like, let's get Hungry Jack's. I was like, no.
Anyway, the next thing is the people behind me, the coffee people were handing out the coffees over there, and there's some like dorky 50-year-old Geelong dad, and they go, someone yelled like, coffee up, chai latte. And the guy behind me goes, wouldn't be surprised if someone's afraid to claim a chai latte. I was like, fuck are you talking about? What do you want him to have? A fucking beer, a fucking whiskey?
Yeah, bloody sissy drank the chai latte.
What are you talking about?
Have you ever had a chai? They're delicious.
It's 2 degrees. Someone's ordered a chai latte.
Yeah, and they're yummy.
Yeah,
it's a better alternative to hot chocky.
It's a fancy hot chocky.
Yeah.
With no chocolate, but
Yeah, with chai.
But it was how would you describe, so that's my experience at Kardinia.
Yeah.
I see why they come to MCG every week. Because, like, that place is really big, right?
Yeah.
But, like, clearly the staff, like, they don't work there that often.
Yeah, 100%.
Like, it's no one's job. Whereas at the MCG, Joe described it as, when you go to the MCG, it can be really full on, because if you don't go there all the time, everyone, it's like 100,000 people knowing where they're going.
Yes. Yeah.
And, like, when you work there regularly. You know where everything is. You've had every question thrown at you.
Yeah.
But these people, like, how many games are at Geelong every
True, they might be working every 3 weeks, sometimes every fortnight, but sometimes once a month.
Yeah, it's literally sense. Like your Suns, GWS, Bulldogs, and Foo Fighters. Like, they're the only time. Like, I think it would only be like 8 games or something down there they play, wouldn't
Probably, yeah. You're only doing 13 home games a year anyway, and a bunch of them are
MCG.
Yeah.
So maybe it's more like 10 games there a year. I don't know.
Maybe, yeah.
But yeah, like that was crazy.